Hey guys, DC Network here, coming at you with another video. We Baby Bears, which is the spin-off series obviously to We Bare Bears, premiered all the way back on January 1st of the year 2022. It's on its second season right now, but it's having a bit of a tumultuous time with that second season. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, as I said before, We Baby Bears premiered its first season on January 1st of the year 2022. It had a 40 episode run concluding on May 13th of the year 2023, so about a year and a half to air 40 episodes. It's not exactly airing your weekly episodes like we used to see back in the day, but a year and a half to air the 40 episode season isn't exactly anything too crazy, especially for the way the media landscape is nowadays. But then a month later, on June 17th, again of the year 2023, season 2 premiered, and for whatever reason, season 2 premiered in 2023 with consistent episodes through August, and then for some reason, as of August 26, 2023, We Baby Bears has not aired a new episode since that date. And I've talked about this recently on the channel in a few other videos. I've mentioned how this doesn't really bode well for the future, I would say, of We Baby Bears. And quite frankly, I'm questioning whether or not this show is canceled, whether or not this show has been canceled by Cartoon Network and they're just going to air out the rest of season 2 and that's going to be it for We Baby Bears. If you guys haven't heard the news already, We Baby Bears is going to be returning with new episodes on February 1st. It's going to be premiering the 56th and 57th episodes of the series in the Atlantis arc. And for those of you that don't know, We Baby Bears has had a bit of a different structure in season 2 than season 1. Season 1, every week they were, visiting a different place with their magical box. And in season 2, I haven't been watching it, but from what I can tell, it seems like every batch of episodes makes up a story arc. So for example, the first 7 episodes of the season were from New and Old Friends, that arc. Then Glitterwood Rocks was the next batch of episodes from 8 to 15. And now Atlantis Bound is the Atlantis arc that will be premiering starting on February 1st, and that goes from episodes 16 to 23, and then there's a few other arcs after that. What I think is happening right now with We Baby Bears is I think this Atlantis arc is going to premiere on February 1st. It's probably going to have weekly episodes until they finish it. Then they'll air the Yokai Art School arc from episodes 24 through 28. Then they'll add the Cosmic Big Bros arc from episodes 29 to 34 of season 2, and then maybe there's another arc after that. But if you had to ask me, I think that's going to be it for We Baby Bears. I think this show has been canceled behind the scenes, and that's why we've seen it just kind of disappear for the past year, because otherwise it doesn't make any logical sense why this series for the first year plus of its life was airing pretty consistently. It was airing new episodes not on a weekly basis all throughout the year, but for the most part you were having new episodes of We Baby Bears on the channel airing on a weekly basis. But then all of a sudden the show disappears for a year and a half, and it's coming back on February 1st with the rest of season 2. I'm presuming that this is going to be it for We Baby Bears. They might air the episodes weekly all the way throughout the run of the rest of We Baby Bears, but they might also do something like they did for Craig of the Creek, where maybe we'll get the Atlantis arc now, they'll take a little hiatus, they'll air the next arc, the Yokai Art School arc, then they'll take another hiatus, then they'll air the next arc, and then if there's one more after that, they'll do that, and then that will be the end of We Baby Bears. I don't think this show's going to continue just because it just doesn't make logical sense to me why it's disappeared for a year and a half. This is kind of like a similar situation, if you will. Not exactly apples to apples, but it is a similar situation to what happened with Elliot from Earth. If you guys recall, that series aired its first 13 episodes, ended on a cliffhanger, and just was never spoken about again, and eventually we all got the memo that, hey, this show was silently canceled behind the scenes. Same thing happened with Mao Mao, Heroes of Pure Heart. Never was a fan of that series, never saw an episode of it. It was never something that really, grasped my interest. That show got a second season green light, then all of a sudden it was supposed to come out, it never did, we never heard about it again, and then we find out it was silently canceled behind the scenes. I feel like something similar has happened here with We Baby Bears. I feel like what's probably happened is this show was in production. I don't know how well it was doing on the channel, critically, if people were liking it. I thought when this show was announced that it was a breath of fresh air for the channel, just because the art style is different from the shows that we see on Cartoon Network. Because if you guys recall, there was a period in the 2010s where every Cartoon Network series looked the same, and it's like, this is something that looks different. It has a different art style, a different look. That's good for the channel. I watched the show, wasn't a fan of it exactly, but I still think it's a good thing to be having on Cartoon Network. I don't think it's a bad series inherently. It's just something that's not for me. With that all being said, I don't know how well this series is doing critically. I know We Bare Bears was this massive series. It really, there's stores, I don't know the name of the stores, but I've been seeing them in malls. You walk into them and they literally just have We Baby Bears posters on their wall. walls, and I'm like, wow, this series has a lot of pull. I've heard a lot of people in my personal life who don't really watch animation mention that show to me and be like, oh yeah, I like We Bare Bears. It's such a fun little time to watch that series. It's a nice way to just detox and escape reality for a little bit. So it's a big series. I think they were trying to capitalize on that by making a spin-off show in We Baby Bears. Some of the episodes that were my favorites of We Bare Bears was when they were babies, when they were cubs, and I think they realized that a lot of people liked those episodes. Let's capitalize on the popularity of We Bare Bears. Let's capitalize on the popularity of those episodes and make an entire series with the bears as babies. Personally, again, it doesn't really work for me. You guys can let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about the show. I just question the fact that it was getting consistent episodes, right? It disappears for a year and a half. Now, all of a sudden, it's coming back. It's going to start airing new episodes on February 1st. We know for the most part what season 2 has left. There's 3 arcs left that we know of. Maybe there's a 4th arc to make the grand total of episodes 40, just like it was for season 1. But I kind of think that's going to be it for the show. I don't think there's going to be more after that. I could be completely wrong here, but a show that's popular and doing well doesn't disappear for a year and a half. The fact that it disappeared for a year and a half tells me that something's wrong. Tells me that something was happening behind the scenes that, for whatever reason, delayed this show for a long period of time, and obviously a delay of that length mid-season, mind you. This is not a, season 2 to season 3 break. This is mid-season. The fact that there was that long of a delay tells me that something went wrong. Something went wrong behind the scenes, and that something, in my opinion, is that this show is not going to be getting more episodes. I think this is going to be it for the series. Maybe they told the people working on it, hey, this is going to be it for the show. If you want to wrap up the story in any way, we're going to need you to do so with, the final 6 episodes that come after the last arc that we have right now. Because right now, basically, We Baby Bears has 34 episodes in season 2 that we know about. Maybe they said, hey, you're going to have to use episodes 35 through 40 to wrap up this show because we're not giving you more. Maybe that's why the delay happened, and they're like, okay, we're going to have to rework our story a bit to fit into this, crunch that Cartoon Network's giving us, that we're not going to get a 3rd season. That's possible too. But at the end of the day, this does not bode well for We Baby Bears, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I'm definitely going to be keeping my eyes on this series as we progress throughout the year to see, hey, is this show getting canceled? Because all indications to me are something's wrong behind the scenes, because you don't just have a year and a half hiatus out of nowhere. Something happened. And last thing I'll say on this, a lot of shows nowadays with streaming services, like I'm thinking of the Star Wars series, for example, a lot of them have long hiatus periods between seasons because they are producing so much Star Wars content that they just stop producing Mandalorian for a bit because they're making Ahsoka. Ahsoka's not having a new season yet because they're making a Mandalorian movie, etc., etc. There's always something they're churning out. But when it comes to Warner Brothers Discovery and Cartoon Network in particular, if you look at their shows, we did this on Monday in the Craig of the Creek video, there is not a lot of shows that they're making in-house. There's 7 shows that are airing on the channel right now. About maybe half of them are being made in-house at Warner Brothers Animation or Cartoon Network Studios. So that tells me you're not that busy because you're not making that many series. So something happened here that caused this show to get delayed for a year and a half mid-season 2. And I think, again, what happened is that this show's getting canceled and we're going to see the rest of season 2, and that's going to be it for We Baby Bears. Anyways, let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about all this. What do you guys think about We Baby Bears returning on February 1st with new episodes? And do you agree with me that this is probably going to be the beginning of the end for We Baby Bears? If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more content like this from DC Network. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.